Hello everyone, today we're going to visit some early 2010 racing mobile games that you may have played in that era too. This video may even be nostalgic to some. Let's start. So the first game that we have today is Assoluto Racing, which was a drag racing mobile game that gives a tutorial with the Mustang GT. Also, it's a drag racing game where you have to shift at a certain point and do a good start, so that was the whole point of the game. Another setup race, very fair one. It gives all these tips, throws into you, and this actually feels better than the new TDU Solar Crown, like a lot. And this is like 2011 game, I'm unsure. And here you had to pick a starter car. I mean, for starter cars, this choice is normal. Dodge Dart, so for some reason as a kid I picked this car. Then Audi A1 S-Line, A-Class, which was added in later versions of this game, Focus ST, which seems logical to buy, Altima, which I picked too as a kid, and then Starts Car, which you can only buy using pay-to-win mechanics. I mean in-app purchases, like this BMW 125i, and this John Cooper Works. Well, it seems logical to pick the Audi. There it is. If we go into the dealership, there's a lot of legendary cars from that era. Cars like Alfa Romeo, Audi R8, and this game had a tier system, which, well, every tier had a boss which you had to beat. Okay, so let's get to real racing. This $500 race with a Mini Cooper S. And this was the entire game. Really, there were no differences. It just became more difficult and you had to spend more money on car upgrades. What I'm playing right now is normal Need for Speed Hot Pursuit, but there was actually a 2010 mobile version of it. And I had difficulties with getting it, same as some other games. The emulator did not support it and crashed, but luckily I had an old iPad which had the game. And this is the game. This may look open world, but it absolutely wasn't, and the locations were shrinked down from the original game, badly remade. This game, just as its PC counterpart, had a co-op and a racer career. Many cars were individual to one team. After all those years of not touching the game, there was still one event unlocked for racers. A 1 vs 1 duel with the best car in the police tier, the Reventon. Although in the PC part it was just an exotic tier car. Instead of spikes like in the normal game, racers here had all slicks. Instead of turbo they had all-wheel drive. This is how Nitros looked. And this is how AMPs looked. And they still managed to mess up this race. The police had quite a handful of modes. The so-called Tough Justice mode was just a hot pursuit event. However, instead of the cars being in a race, you had to arrest them one by one like this. It also had power struggle events, where it was just a police race. Alright, so the next game might not really fit our categories of early 2010 games, but I played it as a kid and above mentioned problems are stopping me from playing many games. So let's try this one. It's a sim racing game that was marketed itself as a realistic mobile game. So this was a starter car selection. You had choice between these three cars. Music, everything is very Gran Turismo styled. I'm picking the Peugeot. Now clearly see why a lot of people like this game. It's a full-blown mobile racing game with a career and everything well output. With licensed cars. Not really many car brands for a car game, but it's a small indie dev studio. So I'm quite surprised with the quality of all this. This game even has Porsche, which was very troubled at licensing. Okay, so just as any other Gran Turismo styled game, this game has licenses. By tweaking with the controls. Yep, just Gran Turismo styled licenses. A Camaro, okay. Okay, this is actually playable and interesting nowadays. But you can see that for a mobile game this is really well designed, well output. The graphics are not good, but well, it's a mobile game. And you have the Gran Turismo feel here. So actually this is with some simcade handling. I think this game is really underrated. And this was the part 1 of the video. It was difficult to make because of the compatibility issues. I have some troubles with running games like GT Racing Motor Academy. If you could reach out to me and help or suggest something, do so on Discord. Here is my username. Thanks for watching.